Hello and welcome to Century Park Arena, which I think is White Hart Lane, where the Tottenham Hotspurs will today be taking on the Swindon Town Swiddly Poopers in the FA Cup. This is a big game for us. The FA Cup is our competition. We're already out of Europe. I don't want to talk about it. So we need to win this one because we only have one trophy so far, I will remind you, and that trophy is, of course, excuse me, the Carling Cup or Capital One Cup or whatever the hell they call it now. It's a trophy, but it's not the most important trophy. The FA Cup, that matters. It's important. It's all of England, and it's ours. It's been ours 3 times, and we want to win it again. So today I'm going to talk about time management, how I manage my time, and my recommendations for time management. Chris Mumple's our referee. You just saw other John Green not shaking his hand. Quick update on the squad. I'm going to be honest with you. We're not starting our top 11 because we have a chance to win the Barclays Premier League title. And it's very hard, to at the end of the season here to keep everybody fit and healthy and rested. So we put a couple guys on the bench. We got Fitzhall and Ginger Rampage there in the back. We got D. McGoldrylocks with other John Green up front. I love D. McGoldrylocks, though. He has a fantastic, beautiful head that he loves to score with. He fits in with the Swiddly Pooper style very well. And he's got beautiful red boots because he bleeds Swindon red. So I feel good about him. So I'm confident. Oh, it almost started brilliantly. But we'll see how it goes. So how do I manage my time? Poorly. In a word, that's my answer. I'm not very good at this, but, I do a lot of stuff. And most of it I really enjoy. Oh, it's disappointing. I write books, and I make video blogs, and I help run DFTBA Records, and I help run VidCon, and I'm also a semi-professional video game player, which is extremely time-consuming because I got to spend, at least 20 or 30 hours a week just on my video game skills to try to keep up to the level of FIFA competency that you guys expect, so that I'm doing all the skill moves and I'm not making unnecessary slide tackles or anything like that. Oh! I mean, he founded Netscape. He became one of the greatest venture capitalists in Silicon Valley, and then he moved to Swindon and became a beautiful, beautiful goalkeeper. Oh, Mark Anderson. He's my hero. So the first way I manage my time is by never playing video games unless I am recording them for the Swindon Town Swiddly Poopers. That's why I'm so bad at this game. Or, also because I just lack talent at video games. But yeah, it is one of the reasons I'm so bad at this game. Oh, come on. Maybe to D. McGoldrylocks! Oh! I was ready to sing. Oh, okay, we've got a corner. This is an incredibly awkward position to take a corner from. I kicked it too hard. Leroy Williamson, that was too hard! Saved. So, for me, the key to time management, but the thing that all of my jobs have in common is that I do them at home and that there's really no one to tell me to do them. If I don't make a Vlogbrothers video, I get punished, and getting punished sucks. But there's no, particularly when I was starting things out, there was no outside impetus to do anything. So, I had a day job, but I wrote at night and on the weekends, and that does require a certain amount of discipline. And my feeling had always been that, like, I wasn't going to be the best writer, but if I was just an extremely hardworking writer, that I might, might be okay. And I think that has, in many ways, served me well, but in other ways, it's, that's all fine and good up to a point. But when you're never not working, you do begin to question, like, what is the point of everything? And, like, what's the point of doing all of this work if it hurts my relationships and it hurts my, yeah. So for me, the real time management question is not so much how do you manage to do the in slow motion. What just happened? I don't even Fahey, we don't really have a song for you. I guess. I that's the song. Fahey! Out of nothing. I mean, he just headed the ball in the slowest of slow motions into the net, and it's 1-0 Swindon. Oh, I love Fahey. He is one of my favorite players. I don't know why I don't have a song about him, though. It's because he never scores. That's why. I do know why I don't have a song about him. Because you don't really need a song for Fahey, because he's not a scorer. He's one of those, he's like a Lucas. Oh, Team at Goldilocks, it's 2-0! What is air? Oh, do the robot. Do the robot! He's big, he's red, he's found the perfect bed, D. McGoldrylocks. D. McGoldrylocks, he's big, he's red, he's found the perfect bed, D. McGoldrylocks. D. McGoldrylocks. So the main way that that I manage the main time management thing for me is balancing like life and work, particularly when you have the kind of work that I have, which it doesn't really end. Like it's not like I'm at work or I'm not at work. And even when I had a day job, you know, I still thought of writing as work, even though it wasn't something that brought me income. What? This is a stupid game and I hate it. How are these things happening? Pavlyuchenko scored from 72 yards away after Mark Anderson made several saves from like 6 inches away. I don't understand. But this is bananas. But this is FA Cup football at its best, complete with me passing to the other team. So, you know, even if something doesn't bring you income, it can still be work. And my challenge has always been that to balance work stuff and life stuff, to do the projects that I want to do that are work projects, but to also have, you know, the relationships that are to maintain the relationships that are important to me, and that like give me the energy. Oh, you had an empty net, sir. That give me the energy that I need to do the work that I want to do. And I'm not very good at managing that, to be totally honest with you. So I work a lot at night, even though I wish I didn't, and I don't, you know, I travel too much. You know, I travel more. Each of the last 3 years, I've traveled more than 100 days, which means that I've missed almost 30% of Henry's life so far, and yeah. So I'm not very good at that, but I am pretty good at managing my time in the sense of making sure that I'm being productive when I want to be productive. Like the two keys to me for that are being forgiving to yourself, but not too forgiving. So understanding that you're not always going to be productive, and that sometimes Tumblr is work. Sometimes Tumblr is an idea generation engine, or Reddit is an idea generation engine, and that, you know, like brains need breaks too. But obviously, then the other side of that coin is that you can't be so forgiving of yourself that you never do anything but tumble down Tumblr. Oh, Diva Goldilocks! Oh, it could have been, but it wasn't. Oh, because it is an unjust world in which we live. All right, and then the second thing is for me is making arbitrary deadlines and sticking to them as if they were real and they mattered. So I like to make goals for myself, and then I like to achieve those goals. Even though those goals may not be real to anyone other than me, I still like achieving them. And that's a big part of how I, you know, kind of keep going and keep making stuff, is that every year I make a list of goals, not really resolutions as such, but more a list of like things that I want to try to accomplish or work on, and I try to do that. So that's how I finished a draft of, you know, my first book, Looking for Alaska, and I try to pretty carefully plot out the time that I think it's going to take, and then take that time. You know, I find that if you are actually working on things instead of worrying about working on them, they don't, you know, they go pretty fast and they aren't nearly as intimidating. So hold on, I have to try to keep this guy from scoring. So that's my, oh, thank God for Mark Anderson. That's been my biggest experience, is that when I stick to my deadlines and I give myself permission to, you know, play around a little bit and have fun kind of within my day, then I get a lot more work done in the end. But I still feel like I don't do as much work as I'd like to when I'm like quote unquote at work, which for instance right now I'm being super productive. Like I can't play this Swoodly Poopers game any faster than I'm playing it. But sometimes I feel like I don't get things done as quickly as I would like. It's gotta be. I waited perfectly. D. McGoldrylocks with his second goal of the game. He's big, he's red, and after too cold and too hot, he disappeared into the into the stadium. But I'm sure he's fine. He's big, he's red, he's found the perfect bed. D. McGoldrylocks. D. McGoldrylocks, his second goal. I told you D. McGoldrylocks was a smart start today. No one believed me. Everyone was like, no, you need John Green and John Green up front. Well, John Green needed a rest, and I knew it. I felt it. I am a great football manager. Oh, someone should give me a job. Maybe Swindon needs a manager. Go. Go, boys. Go. Why not get D. McGoldrylocks a little bit of a hat trick? That's a foul. That's a foul, and it hurt my feelings. No? No foul? Felt like one. We had a really good run there, and then we lost it. We had a bunch of open space, and I didn't make the pass I should have made. D. McGoldrylocks, go far post. Far post. I want it! I want it for you! And you got it! Your first hat trick of your entire career! D. McGoldrylocks! He's big! He's red! He's found the perfect bed! D. McGoldrylocks! D. McGoldrylocks! This is like old school Swindon Town Swoodly Pooper football where we do nothing but score all day. This is fantastic! Let's go get 10 of them! Of course, goal differential doesn't matter in the FA Cup. If only this were happening in the league! Oh, that would be amazing! That would be so awesome. Anyway, sometimes I feel like I'm not as productive as I should be, and I get frustrated with myself. But then the other thing that helps me is that, like in general in life, I have found that if you are forgiving of yourself, you are going to be a lot happier than if you are really mean to yourself. Like being mean to yourself doesn't actually result in you being more productive. It just results in you feeling bad about yourself, which leads to this like cycle of like shame and misery and unhappiness. And that doesn't make me more productive. It just makes me hate myself, which isn't productive at all. So, when I'm doing that and I say like, oh, I don't feel like I've been productive at all, it's really helpful for me to list some of the things that I have done, even if they're small things. So I remember like one year I hardly got any writing done and I was really mad at myself. But then I remembered like I wrote the screenplay. I was working on the screenplay for Paper Towns, and like I learned that I suck at screenplays, and like that's an unfortunate thing in some ways. Like I wish I didn't suck at screenplays. I wish I hadn't spent a year learning that I suck at something. But like I had to spend that. I was working. I was just working on something it turned out I wasn't very good at. But you don't learn that until you do it. And so I try to like for me ultimately. Time management is a little bit about prioritization, but it's a lot about, wanting to feel at the end of the day like I did something. It doesn't have to have been something huge, just something. And, so that I can kind of go to bed without that feeling of dread in my stomach. If I can think of like one thing that I did, then that feeling of dread, at least for me, dissipates. I need Mark Anderson. It doesn't matter, even if you had scored, because I'm up 4-1. Old school Swoodly Poopers. Wouldn't it be great if they were all like this and it was just a goal bonanza every week? Every Monday and Wednesday, Friday, you just had a gajillion goals. Look at D. McGoldrylocks. He's making another fantastic run. He didn't get a hold of that one, but I mean, the guy had a great, great game. And look at our opponents kneel in shame. D. McGoldrylocks, D. McGoldrylocks, D. McGoldrylocks, Fahey, and they give thanks in Swindon. We're headed forward in the FA Cup. Congratulations, boys. Best wishes.